What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who will benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. What's up? So the name of this episode is called Killing Indecisiveness. Killing Indecisiveness. Can't even say it. So before we get started with this episode, I want to say that the goal of this particular episode is for you to walk away determined and ready to just call your shot, to say what it is I'm going for and do the damn thing, and do it with fearless effort. So let's jump in. So first, we're going to talk about how to get rid of the iffy / wishy washy / in and out, so unsure, contemplative, indecisive BS that we both know isn't serving you and could honestly be wasting a lot of your time. And not to mention your brain power and energy. And secondly, I want to give you a little nudge or a push, maybe even a kick in the butt, to push you in the direction to help you decide and commit to doing whatever the thing is that you want to do with full commitment rather than giving a half-ass effort, which will be a guaranteed way to get results that won't help you get to where you want to ultimately go, right? So let's think about this. Let's think about how much space in your brain we use to spend time thinking about negative things, about negative possibilities and situations that lead to negative outcomes. When we say stuff like, what's going to happen if I do this? Or what will this person think if I do that? Or how will people look at me if I start doing this? What's going to happen? Right? These are all the ways it can go wrong or fail, right? And we stress over these things and we think about all the different outcomes that'll be horrible, and we play them out in our head, and it paralyzes us. And in the end, all those things never even happen. And if it does so happen to actually come true, then you just put yourself through the same stress twice. And honestly, this takes so much time and energy. It really does. We tell ourselves this stupid story in our head that if we pre-stress about a potential future stressful situation, that is somehow going to save us from the actual stress in the situation, right? I'm going to say that again. We pre-stress about a potential future stressful situation, and we believe that it's somehow going to save us from the stress of the actual situation. And really, all we're doing is putting ourselves through the situation twice. With some weirdos. And just think about how much time we spend in this contemplative, indecisive analysis by paralysis stage just thinking. And we're thinking about how we have to wait for these perfect conditions or the perfect time to do something, right? Or the perfect season to start our life. And we think that by thinking about it and waiting for the situation to be just right, that it's somehow going to protect us from the fear when we just rip the damn Band-Aid off and do the damn thing. Because in reality, we don't get to skip that stage. We don't. We don't get to skip that fear stage. We just can't skip it. We don't get to skip that feeling of not knowing what we're doing or feeling that we're going to suck at something for the first time. The thing is, if you're going for something that you've never done before, you've never done it before. So yeah, it's a good chance that you won't be a master at it right away. And look, I'm not saying that there isn't a time and place to weigh out pros and cons, because that is important. But be honest. Be honest. You know when it gets to a point when it's no longer helpful and actually counterproductive. And then you sit in that paralysis by analysis for way too long. And that gets exhausting. So let's just make the decision that you are never really going to know the outcome unless you just do the damn thing. Literally. The best way to find out if you're going to like something or if something is going to work out is to just try it. And as you're trying it, And doing it, you'll be able to get that personal feedback for yourself. Instead of wondering if it's going to work out exactly the way you planned, do this. Expect that it won't. Expect that it won't go how you're planning it. Expect that whatever you have written down, whatever way you envision it going, it won't happen that way. Now, I'm not saying imagine that it's going to fail. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is we all know things never really go according to plan. And let me tell you, I've been doing theater for 20 years now, 13 years professionally. Now, we have a script every time. We know exactly what we're supposed to say. Now, I can honestly say that not one single show I've ever been in has gone perfectly according to plan. No matter how much we rehearse, no matter how much time we have preparing, something is going to be at least a little different during the show, every single show. Whether it's the lines, the blocking on stage, the audience's reaction, somebody missing their cues, it's always something. Now, my favorite is when I'm at a performance for a banquet or a conference or something that they have a day planned out in time slots, right? Like you've all been to that banquet or to a meeting or a presentation, right? And they have time like from 12:30 to 1, Cheryl is going to give a speech. Then from 1 to 1:15, we'll look at a PowerPoint. And then from 1:15 to 2, there's going to be a group discussion. And I literally laugh every time I see schedules like that because that shit never goes like that. No matter how meticulously they plan it, it just doesn't work like that. But does that mean that they don't go through with it? At the end of the day, even if it doesn't go according to plan, they still get it done, right? What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here and let's get back to it. So yeah, it is okay to expect that it won't go 100% according to plan. It never does. So get that monkey off your back. It's not going to go perfectly. It's not. And here's the thing. I know all this is easier said than done, right? I get it. Because at the end of the day, we're still human. We're going to be worried about failure. And as much as we say we don't, we care about what people think about us, right? We don't want to fail. And worse, we don't want other people to see us fail, right? We don't want to be judged by people. We want people to like us, not dislike us. We don't want to be criticized, right? All these things. We as humans are programmed to seek approval and be a part of a group, to be a part of that safety. Because back in the times when we were living out in the wild and living in groups like cavemen during that time, if the group didn't accept you and cast you out, that meant death. You die. You would starve or get lost or hunted by a predator. Back then, that's how it was. That's what it meant to not be accepted. So we are designed to want to belong to a community. So when we feel that fear, or we think that all the negative ways it can go wrong, it's our brain trying to protect us and keep us in our peer group. Even if we know the actions we need to take will actually serve us in getting us closer to accomplishing what we want to achieve. And we have to work against that. And no, it won't be easy. It won't. And I've brought this concept up before, but it's really important to understand why we have these fears and comfort zones. And once we can understand how our brain works, why it works the way it does, it can be easier to break away from those habits and mechanisms that we have that are actually holding us back. And let me say this, if you're ever in a situation, or if you're a person that feels like you're contemplating making a decision about something because you feel like if you make the decision, you're going to be restricted or restrained, that you'll have less choices to make, less choices to choose from, that you won't have as much freedom because whatever structure that comes along with making that decision will limit you. I want to remind you that structure actually creates more freedom, because all that time you were thinking and contemplating and weighing out the pros and cons, you can actually go do it. And now all that time you spent thinking and wondering, you can use that time to pour that energy into what you decided to do, to come up with brand new ideas. And within that structure of that decision, you'll have more freedom because you'll have a clearer understanding on how to navigate and tweak it to fit your needs. And you'll also have way more mental capacity or a mental threshold to create new ideas because it's exhausting, right? And there's also the knowledge and experience you gain by deciding to do something, going after it, learning from your experience that you no longer want to go down that path anymore, because that's valuable knowledge and growth as well. And it's an experience that you would have never had the opportunity to learn if you never took action and went down that path at all. And maybe you go down that path and you love it. And it's exactly what you need to be doing. And you love it for a while. And then after a period of time, it no longer aligns with your wants and your needs anymore. And you take that experience and all of that confidence that you built from taking action and all that fulfillment you gain from trying something new, and you apply it. You apply all that to the next thing, and you'll be better equipped to execute it. Why? Because you took that first step with the initial decision. And let's be real. We know what it feels like to give something your full effort, right? We know how much of a difference it can make, right? How many more opportunities that we come across to get better at something when we truly commit and give it 100%. And how good it feels to get better at it. And how much fulfillment you feel when you are hitting those growth points, right? And we know that it's hard to go for those things that we're uncertain about, or that we're contemplating or worried about all the negative possibilities about, right? But think of it if you came into those initial decisions with full certainty, like those things you gave your full effort to. Imagine what your mindset would be like. Imagine how you'd feel starting that thing that you've been weighing the pros and cons on for weeks and months. Imagine how much further along you'd be with progress if you attacked it the same way those weeks and months ago. When you give your full effort, the amount of fulfillment and pride you feel towards the thing that you're working towards, it drives you. So doing something with the right perspective could be the tiny adjustment that could create a massive impact. Just one slight perspective shift of saying, you know what, I'm going for it, and it won't go perfectly according to plan. I may not be 100% certain, but I'm going to give my full effort, knowing that I'm going to learn and grow from this either way. And knowing that that little voice inside my head telling me to be afraid or self-conscious, or I should just be like everybody else, that's a safety mechanism in my brain trying to keep me safe from a danger that doesn't even exist. And it's not who I really am, right? So make that decision and go for it. Stop waiting. The time will never be perfect. The situation will never be just right. The longer you wait, the further you are from success. So make the decision and just go. You got this. Give it your all and grow. Because that's how you become the person that you truly want to be. The type of person who achieves the things that you deeply seek to achieve. To become that man or woman, you have to grow. Making this decision, whatever decision that is, will 100% make you do just that. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.